6, 7, 8. 7, 8. 8.
Let's go.
8.
Let's go. Let's go.
7, 8.
Come on.
6, 7, 8.
Let's go. Let's
5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hello and welcome to Hardly Working, the show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kelly.
And I'm SP, and I would like to give a very special welcome to everyone who's been with us for just about 80 episodes, almost a full year.
Woo woo.
And also the numerous new listeners, viewers, hardly workers, fun
Friends.
employees. I don't know what we call people who listen to the show.
I don't know.
But there are a ton of new people who have jumped on the bandwagon. You want to know how I know that, Kel?
How do you know that?
We briefly, we're like, oh, by the way, we made a TikTok
We did
last
make a
week.
TikTok.
Just like, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like at the end of the episode, just so you know, if you're here, we made a TikTok.
Yeah, we did.
When we said that, we had 10 followers.
10.
10. A couple days later, we're now filming this. We have over 2,600 followers.
That's right. 2,600 new friends.
We've
I'd
got
like to call them.
a video that we've posted on there that has over 1.8 million views. Another one that's at like 680,000 views, and everything else is in the thousands. So everybody who's joined, followed, watched, and come along for the ride, welcome and thank you. And if you're wondering what the heck we're talking about, we're on TikTok now, baby.
It's hardly working.
It's hardly working.
Sorry, I was ahead of you a bit. It's hardly working.
Yeah, so if you're wondering what's going on there, we're not just posting clips of the show like we've done on Instagram. We're making content specifically for that, and it's been really good. It's been paying off. So I'm excited. So thank you for taking us from 10 followers to over 2,600 followers in the amount of a couple days. It's good to be here with you.
It's great to be here with you.
We're here to entertain you.
Let me entertain you.
If you're new to the show, we always kick it off with talking about what's been going on, what's happened this week. And this week's been a big week, particularly for Bumble BMBL Photo Booth Co., which is the company that Kelly
That's mine.
owns. What did you do this week, Kel?
I got to help launch the Hallmark Plus thing.
Streaming
It's not a thing.
So what did you get to do, Kel?
I was going to say it's all under one umbrella now. I got to help launch the Hallmark Plus streaming service, but it's all under one umbrella. That's their whole thing. They have Hallmark, Hallmark Plus, Hallmark Cards, Hallmark Channel. It's all Hallmark Plus.
They should call it Allmark Plus.
No, Hallmark. But it was really fun. I hit my microphone. It was really fun. We did the photo booth. We did one of our new activations, our custom Polaroid, a little bit of a retro branded activation that we did. Super fun. Everyone at Hallmark is always so nice. So it's always fun to be on site with them.
So cool.
And the funniest part of the whole entire evening was we did it. It was so fun. We took lots of photos. We had a blast. It cooled down later in the evening because it was outside, which was great.
Oh, it was so
And
hot in Pasadena.
on our way out, we run into none other than our friends Corey and Tara on their 21st wedding anniversary, having dinner at the hotel that we happened to be doing this event at. And we went and said hi to them, got to chat with them for a bit. And it was so funny because they were like, we just came here for dinner for our anniversary and we just saw all these Hallmark Plus signs. And we're like, wow, they must be doing a large event here. And then you guys are here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Just being a part of a big event, no big deal.
It was a blast.
So shout out to Hallmark Plus. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
And your event was so fetch.
It was so fetch.
It was so fetch. It had at least 2 people from Mean Girls there.
That's right. Jonathan Bennett and Lacey Chabert.
There you go. Those people.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a great time. It was a really, really good time. Like Kelly said, it was a Polaroid activation, which is the first time we've ever done that. It was totally branded for Hallmark. It was very cool. I'll put up videos and stuff I already have. If you're watching, you'll check it out.
And you can check it out on my Instagram at BMBL Booth. I have tons of stuff up there because obviously I just did an event and so I posted about it. Check it
Boom,
out.
baby. Well, that was the biggest news of the week. Also, shout out to my mom. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday to
She turns
you.
47 this year,
That's
and
right.
we are happy to have celebrated with her.
That's right.
I want to give her a shout out because I know she doesn't listen, but she reads the transcripts of the podcast.
Yeah, you know, she did bring into our life probably the best tart that I've had in a long time.
Look, I'm a fruit boy. I'm a fruity boy.
I had a lot of fruit, a lot of good fruit too. A lot of good fruit.
And I'm a tart lover.
Mm-hmm.
This was good. It was from Whole Foods. So if you're looking for a tart to impress anyone, first date, last date,
Hallmark is the place to go. Who am I?
Hallmark.
Whole Foods is the place to
it's
go.
all under one umbrella.
Whole Foods is the place to go.
It was friggin' great. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
Also, if we seem a little lethargic, it's because we just shot a video for TikTok where we ate so much food. So much food. I'm looking at a melting Frosty off camera going, it's probably still good.
No, we're done. We're done with the Frosty.
No, it's all good. But like I said, if you're joining us for the first time or the millionth time, welcome. Excited to have you. We usually, do you got something to jump in with? You never have something to jump in with.
Because I was going to say, another thing we did this week, for those of you that don't know, is that SP and I are, well, he would say that I am, but we both are big on specific gaming or game, what are they called? Brands.
Sure.
Like there are certain franchises.
Oh boy.
That we really like. Gears of War is one. Borderlands is like number one for us. And this week was the first week that we ever played Borderlands with one of our friends.
Yeah, we opened up our marriage in terms of video games to other people.
It was fun.
We played for 3 hours. It was great.
It was great.
Yeah, if you've listened to the podcast for a while, you know that we're big Borderlands fans. And you know that in like 2-3 weeks, we're going to be reviewing the movie.
I know.
Which, spoilers, is not going to be good. But it was a good time. Actually, we're going to play after this. So we better wrap this episode up real fast.
I want to go play. I was going to say something else, but I shouldn't say that.
No, not in light of current events, which we're not talking about on this show because this show is a reprieve, an alleviation, a respite from the real world. 60-ish minutes of chill, loving fun, and that's what we're going to give to you. And
but
we usually do that.
Prayers and good thoughts sent to all families involved.
Indeed. Now, usually we jump into stories right here, but...
I have a story.
Oh. I thought you had a game.
It leads in. It's not a game. It's more like a factoid game. Like,
all right, well, hit me with it, girl.
And I guess I could have done more for this, but it felt more important to give the good, hard facts.
That's what people come to Hardly Working for. The hard-hitting facts, the journalistic credibility that we bring.
I got to pull it up. I'm so sorry. Have you heard... about the Berkeley study that just happened?
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't because you're a man. I don't mean that in any negative way.
I'm sorry. It's true. That's not fair.
First study to measure toxic metals in tampons.
I have heard about this.
Shows arsenic and lead among other contaminants.
I've seen many videos. I'm on Lady Talk or whatever.
So it's a big deal. It's a big deal, especially as you can imagine with any person that's ever used a tampon, which is like all women anywhere,
pretty much.
Just about. But yeah, they did a scientific experiment on it, and they found that they basically have these toxic things that people are just putting into their bodies at a place that really does absorb all of that.
Like a sponge.
And the big hitter for this was Playtex.
They're a big brand of feminine hygiene products.
Yeah. So I kind of deep dived into this. I didn't deep dive too much into the stuff. It's a lot of technical gibberish. Jargon is good. Jabronis. But anyway, they did this whole study, and so it kind of led me down this thing of wondering about me. So fun facts for me, here we go. Not a sponsor, have nothing associated with it.
Oh, I know this.
But for the
Lola's?
Yes, for the last, I would say most of all of our marriage.
Yeah, probably before that.
Probably 6 or 7 years. I switched a long time ago to Lola tampons because theirs was all organic, is by a female-owned company, a smaller company. And I was just tired of, I didn't like the scented tampons. I didn't really like the way that it was. I didn't really like the way I was feeling wearing certain of like these Tampax, all this stuff, or Playtex, Tampax, all that, both of them.
Sure.
Brands. And so I switched to Lola's, and I've stayed with them ever since. I love them. They're so great. Even when I run out of them and I have to go buy at the grocery store, I'll normally buy Cora or Try To, which is another organic like cotton one.
Yeah, and also they get delivered to your door, which is the best part.
The best part. And they have other stuff too. Like I just bought like all of her first period stuff from Brooklyn from there. Not that she's had that, but never be too prepared. But yeah, so that led me to thinking, I wonder how much my husband knows about tampons.
Whoa. This is the game?
This is the game.
Yikes. I thought I was like in the clear just knowing that we found out that there was metals in tampons.
No, but that's freaking scary. I just need you guys to know. That's a scary thing. And if they can get away with that in tampons, like what else can they get away with that in?
What are they going to do? Put it in paint? Like lead-based paint?
Oh. They already did that.
Oh.
Whoa. But I wanted to know how much you knew, how much you've listened, how much you've been aware, where you're at. Some of these you already know because I know you know them.
This has been a good week for me in terms of knowing the female experience.
This one I know that you'll know, but I'm just curious. What are the different sizes of tampons that are available?
There's many different sizes. Super, regular, and light are common. There's also like a heavy duty super or a double super or something like that.
Super plus.
Super plus, but those are the main ones.
Yeah, those are pretty much it. Yep.
Yeah.
Good job.
I know
knew you'd
them
get
because
that
I
one.
organize them in Ziploc bags.
That's true. He does. How often should you change a tampon?
It just depends on the day.
Any given, there's a specific amount of hours.
Well, that's tricky because on the first 2 days, which are the heavier flow days, those are the days that some women can make it through the night. Some have to get up so they can change it so they don't bleed through. So it's just tricky. If you're sleeping 8 hours, 10 hours, 6 hours, I don't know what you're doing. So the question is, how many do you use in a day? It's like 4 to 8. It just depends on the day.
I didn't ask that, but that's a good question too.
What was your question?
How often should you change? I think it's
Oh,
the same
how
thing.
often? Well, here's the deal. You got to change it at least every couple hours, specifically at the beginning, because you want to avoid toxic shock syndrome.
What's that?
You don't want to get poisoned by leaving a tampon in your body for too long, or by thinking you took your tampon out and putting another one up there and forgetting that the first one was there. You could die. Was that another one of your questions?
It was.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them. Can you wear a tampon at night? You already said you wear it up. You got to get up in the middle. And then what
Yeah,
is
you can wear it
toxic
at
shock syndrome? But here, can you answer this? TSS or toxic shock syndrome, like on the back of the tampon boxes, they like give a warning for that, and they
like on the back of a cigarette thing where it's like, this is known to cause cancer.
Yeah, but they give you like a specific amount of hours that you shouldn't wear it past. Like you should not wear it past this amount. Do you know what that is? Can you guess what that is? Any idea?
I'll guess 8.
That's exactly what it is.
Is
Yeah,
it?
It's suggested that you wear a tampon 4 to 8 hours, but you should not wear it any like above 8 hours at all.
Yeah, my thinking was like you have to let people sleep with a tampon in. And if you're supposed to sleep 8 hours, like you can't be any less than that. I thought it might have been 10, but I just went with my gut and I made it happen.
8 is good. I once had a friend that
Are you shocked? Is that toxically shocking to you that I knew that?
Well, you're actually really good at listening and being a part of this. Like you are the kindest person when I get my period and you like know when it's coming and you really take care of me. You bought me multiple heating pads so I can have one in the bedroom and one on the couch if I need it. So, and one at the car at some point in time as well.
Yeah, but that was trickier.
Yeah, but you still
have to
did
have
it.
like a real outlet, yeah.
But you still did it. So it was really great. So I knew that you'd probably get a lot of these right, but some of them are a little bit more obscure. So I was wondering, do you know that I knew someone that had toxic shock syndrome?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just like thought she could wear them as long as she needed to, and then she started feeling sick, and then she went to the hospital.
I put one in and I'm done for the week.
Yeah,
it's like a Diva cup.
That's
sure. That's not how Diva cups work either.
No, it's not how they work. But it's an interesting thing. It's something that I'm like nervous about with our daughter because it is something you really have to teach people about. I think we're way more open about talking about this stuff now than like
ever
my parents were when we were younger. But yeah, it's a scary thing. It's real. It can happen. Okay,
I think of toxic shock syndrome like I think of SIDS for infants. It's like it's not common, but you gotta know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Because it could happen.
Yeah.
What are tampons made out of?
I assume cotton.
You're right.
Am I?
Yeah,
you looked at me weird. I was like, a synthetic polycotton blend? Wool?
Well, the ones that I use are cotton.
Yeah.
100% organic cotton.
Wow.
Which is why I use them. And then there are like other ones you can use. Is it like Raylon or Rylon or whatever? I don't use those ones.
I don't know.
But I guess it also comes from plants. I don't really know.
Me either.
But cotton is the most normal.
Nice. I didn't know we had more questions. I thought you were just talking now.
No, I have more questions. I mean, you probably know the answer to this. I was going to ask you, how do you get a tampon out?
You pull the string.
That's good. Okay. Can tampons expire?
Wow. I've never considered that. I'm going to have to go ahead and say, yes, they can, because sometimes those metals in the tampons, they get a little too old. I'm just...
Hopefully they don't have metal in them.
Process of elimination. What a weird question. I'm going to say yes.
Do you know how long?
I don't.
Any guesses?
It's like a general answer of like it.
After a specific amount of years.
Wow. I'm going to say 2 years.
No.
3.
No.
5?
Yeah.
5 years. That's better because most people like companies are like, you have to use it right now or you have to buy more because buy more.
I mean, yes, except for the fact that women get periods. What's a 28 day cycle?
Yep.
Like, so every 28 days.
Are you asking me? Is that another question?
No, I know that you know that.
It's a 28 day cycle.
But I'm just saying, like, it's not one of those things where it's buy now, because every month.
We're buying now.
Yeah. Unless you use a different type of period collection method. Can you name 3 other types of methods that people can use other than tampons to collect period?
Diva cup.
Yeah, it's called a menstrual cup. Diva cup is a brand, but yeah.
Got it. Pads, sanitary pads. and
These are newer.
super glue. I don't know what the third could be. I have no idea.
So they now have these underwear that are made specifically
With a
for
liner?
periods. I don't honestly, I've been really interested in these and have not gotten them, but you're supposed to be able to wear it with nothing and it's supposed to catch your period blood
Like
and
a
not
pad
leak.
would? It's all external or is it also internal? It's got to be all external.
It's all external.
It's a pad.
Yes, but you don't have to change it. You just
it's not
wash
a pad,
it.
actually. It's a diaper.
But you just wash it.
It's a, what do they call those diapers?
But you don't put anything in it. Like you're not like changing something out
Yeah,
in
yeah.
it. You just, it's,
Wait.
they have Thinks. There's a brand called Thinks that has this. I think
You
another.
don't have to change it all day long?
You have to change it when it starts. Like it's kind of the same. I mean, here's the deal. I've never done it. I've never had it, so I don't really know that much about it. I've been interested in trying it, but I haven't because I'm honestly a little bit nervous.
It's a
But-
pad.
But you're not changing anything out. So you just wash the underwear and you reuse it. So rather than having to buy pads over and over again, then you dispose of them,
Sure.
you just wash the underwear. You can rinse them and wash them, do all the things, and you just have the same.
Yeah, what do
underwear.
they call those for babies? The diapers.
Cloths,
Cloth diapers. This is a cloth
basically. But how great!
pad.
And you're not supposed to bleed through. None of the things. You're
If you're-
definitely not going to get toxic shock syndrome, and you definitely won't have any like metals going in your body.
But you might bleed through. This is your first episode of Hardly Working.
Welcome. We're just teaching
This
a little
is
bit. Hey,
Not normal.
there was a big thing that happened with tampons. It's
Yeah.
good to learn about.
That's the big thing that happened this week that we're talking about. That is a big thing that happened
It was
this
a
week.
big thing for females.
It
for
was.
sure, because it was a scary thing of like, dang,
It
how long have
was.
they been doing this for? And how does that affect our bodies if we've been putting these tampons into our bodies from 4 to 7 days
A month.
every month
So
for
far, so good.
however many years you've had your period? It's
Yeah.
a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Okay?
You know what else is a big deal?
What?
This story that friend of the show and friend of my life, Saman, sent in
Okay.
has nothing to do with periods.
I gathered. Mine was good.
It was. I'm not downplaying your period party game.
It was a period learning game.
Shim sent this in. It was an article from the BBC. That's right. A reputable news/TV entertainment source.
Okay.
Doctor Who's on the BBC.
Yep.
Sherlock.
Yep. All good shows. All good shows.
Other things,
Yeah.
probably. It's the title of the article is Man Caught Smuggling 100 Snakes in His Trousers.
Snakes in his trousers. How big are these snakes?
It sounded like you were making up a name for the game. Snakes in his trousers?
How big were the snakes?
The snakes were little. You want to see what they were like? That's them, dear.
It was like garden snakes.
I think garden snakes are bigger too.
No, but they're like the skinny ones, like the small ones, not the thick boys, the skinny ones.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they call those garden snakes, but I don't. But yeah,
I don't know that I've ever seen a snake in person in the wild. Have you?
yes,
Really?
on a hiking trail.
What
yeah.
kind of snake was it? You don't know. Why would you know?
I truly, it's gonna be dumb if it's not true, but I truly think that it was like a rattlesnake, and I was with like old people that were older than me because I was younger, and
Old people, sure.
but they were like more, they were hikers, so like they knew.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, don't go that way. Or they took a stick or something and like were able to move it away. And I've seen like smaller snakes on trails too. I've also seen a tarantula on a hiking trail.
Are you more afraid of a snake or a spider?
A spider, but probably because they're more frequent than snakes.
Yeah, I wonder how
I've
fast
held
a snake
snakes.
is. You have?
Yeah, like
Who are you, Britney Spears?
That's right. Gimme, 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 gimme. I don't really know. I don't think that's the song. Oh, that is because it's I'm a slave. She has a snake. Yeah.
I'm a snake
But
on
yeah,
you.
I've held a snake before.
Wow.
When the Petco, is that what it was?
Where the pets go?
Petco's where the pets go in Porter Ranch.
Uh-huh.
When they used to have like
Actual animals in
actual
there?
animals in there. Yeah, I had gone in and held a snake. I don't know. I don't remember why. I think at some point in time, this is probably true. Probably, as I say, I would know myself. But at one point in time, I wanted a pet snake, and my mom and dad told me
Wow.
no.
Good parenting. That is a good
I'm really
answer.
grateful that I didn't get a snake. But
You could not have brought that into our marriage.
No, it's really weird. I
Would have
think there
not
was
come
someone
with
in my
us.
life that maybe had a snake, and so it was like,
What
Cool.
ex-boyfriend told you snakes were cool?
no, I had a friend. I was one of my
What
lady
ex-friends?
friends.
What ex-lady
She
friend said
had
it?
mice, and I think she had snakes.
That's a bad
But she
combo.
didn't feed the mice to the snakes.
Yeah, that's a bad combo.
Let's be clear.
That's a bad combo.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
That's like having
I'm
fish,
just giving you facts.
like a pet fish and a pet shark.
Well, sharks eat humans too.
It's two ends of the food chain. It's a snake. It's a mouse. They're gonna eat each other. All right, something more.
SP, everybody. SP.
Thank you. Something more relevant would be like a cat
and a mouse. Cat and mouse.
No, you can't use the same thing. Ben and Jerry?
No, it's not Ben and Jerry. What is it?
Nope, that's it. It's
Jerry and...
I've seen all 31 episodes of that.
What is it? What is
Ben
his
and
name?
Jerry.
What's his name?
The cat and the mouse. Don't tell me that I'm wrong.
Tell me what his name is.
Which one?
Jerry's the cat. No, Jerry's the mouse. What are they called?
Don't look it up.
I'm gonna.
This is an internet-free zone.
No.
Ben and Jerry's. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You want to know?
Yeah.
You don't have to look it up. It's Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Tom as in Tomcat. Jerry as in
what?
Jerry the Mouse. I don't know. Jerry
Mouse.
Seinfeld. Jerry Springer. Jerry Fitzgerald. Terrible
Tom and Jerry.
Wow.
It's a little bit past my time. Okay, I'm still younger than you.
Hey, did you know a man had 100 snakes in his pants? Do you remember that story from a minute ago?
Yeah. Did you know that I wanted a snake as a pet?
You what? Okay,
I'm just kidding.
stop.
Wait.
Bring it back. So I'll give you the
they were
gist
like
of
little
it.
garden snake. Have you ever seen a snake in the wild? This was the question that you asked me that got us down this train. Have you?
I don't believe that I have, which
Crazy.
I believe
Crazy.
that I mentioned earlier. But when I was a Boy Scout, back
You were
before
not
they-
a Boy Scout.
You're right. Actually, I wasn't. When I was a Cub Scout,
Were you a Cub Scout?
I was. What?
What?
I was a Cub Scout. I was a Cubby.
No.
Yeah.
I was never a Girl Scout, so
I can tell.
I wanted to be.
I know you're making up for it now in your adulthood by bringing so many cookies into the house. Like, this should have been childhood, selling these cookies.
I haven't brought any Girl Scout cookies into our house in like
I didn't
2
say
years.
Girl Scout cookies. I said cookies.
Anyway, man tries to smuggle in 100 snakes in his trousers.
All right. So that is the gist of this. Shim, I promise we're getting to it. So this dude, it didn't say where he was coming from, but he was trying to get into mainland China, and they asked him in whatever their customs thing was.
Is that what they asked him and all the snakes
I'm
came
sorry,
out?
are you speaking parcel
tongue? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm just going to read the notes. A man tried to smuggle more than 100 live snakes into mainland China, stuffing them in his trousers, according to custom officials. They didn't tell us who the name of this person or what the name of the person was, but he did say that he had, quote, nothing to declare. But remember the story we did a couple of weeks ago about the dude who put 17 Pringle cans in his pants?
Yeah.
These two should meet. Maybe it's the same person.
Maybe they put the snake in the Pringle cans.
That would have been smarter.
Yeah. But wait, how did they find him out?
How did they find him out?
Hey, how did they know that he had snakes? Were they like crawling out of his trousers? Was he going out because they were biting him? Like what?
That's what I thought. I was like, if you're going to put him anywhere, don't put him next to the privates.
Well, to the goods, he did.
To the goods? It says upon inspection, he had 104 snakes in, quote, 6 canvas drawstring bags inside of his trousers.
Oh.
So I don't know what stopped them. Now, having just been through customs recently out of the country, they can just choose to stop you if they want to or not. Like, they don't need a reason. They're like, anything to declare? And you're like, no. And they can be like, come over here. I was with the dude who accidentally brought in an orange, and we had to stand there for 45 minutes. It was terrible. Can't imagine what happens with 104 snakes. Anyway, it says each bag was found to contain living snakes of all kinds and shapes, sizes, and colors. And
How big was his trousers?
you know what?
That was a great sentence. How
doesn't-
big were his trousers?
It doesn't specifically say the size of his.
Like
here it is.
parachute pants?
It's 42-42. No,
Like
I'm just
parachute
kidding.
pants?
Oh, the man was MC Hammer, was smuggling snakes. But this was my favorite part of the story. At the end, it was like, just so you know, this isn't the first time this has happened before.
With
It
the same
says-
guy?
No, different person. Just last year in 2023, at the same crossing point, the same place, a woman was stopped trying to smuggle in 5 snakes hidden inside her bra.
Okay, somebody is trying to get snakes into China.
Yeah. Well, they
And
say
somebody's paying these people.
yeah. Well, there's like a big black market
Why do
for
they want
exotic
snakes?
pets.
Why snakes?
Who knows? Why eat a bat? Who knows?
COVID.
People are weird. Anyway, so thanks, Jim. Send it in. We don't talk about it a lot, but you can hit us up on TikTok or Instagram at
Send us
It's
anything.
Hardly Working. Every time I've said our handle, you've talked over me.
Sorry.
You can definitely send it at,
It's hardly working.
or just email us at hardlyworkingfans@gmail.com, but we don't talk about that too much anymore because Instagram and TikTok's so much easier. We are the weirdest couple. No one listening could know this. No one watching this could know this. But both of our
How
bare
dare
feet
you.
are just intertwined in different chairs. What a couple of freaks we are.
Yeah. Find someone that matches your weird.
That's true.
I found it. Weirdo.
So far, so good.
But don't put pants on your snakes. Snakes in your pants.
Don't put snakes in your pants. How about that?
That's what I was trying to
I'm
say.
good with that. All right, another story. We got a couple of them here.
All right.
This one was
Not
interesting.
as good as mine. I'm just kidding.
What was your story?
My tampon story.
Oh, it was a story and a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gamified the tampon story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. This
Yours
story.
are better.
Oh, thanks. I do a lot of work for the show, but I love it. This one is from AP, the AP, apnews.com.
What the heck is that?
.com. It's the Associated Press.
Okay.
I'm so glad I knew that. Don't ask me about PSI, though.
Pounds per inch.
Square inch.
Square inch.
Here's the article. On New York City beaches, angry birds fight drones patrolling for sharks and struggling swimmers.
Yeah, they're mad. Like,
Yeah.
this is my zone. What type of freaking bird are you?
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, what is this giant loud bird? And it's an article that's like the birds are swooping down and like trying to attack him and stuff, and they're being very vocal is what they say.
What's that?
Exactly. What was that? Yep.
I don't know what that's going to translate to, Mom. Sorry.
No, that's what the drones sound like, though. You're right.
I thought you said the birds.
I know, I'm messing with you.
Don't mess with me.
So here's the deal. I think this is kind of a great idea, but also like a dystopian, scary idea. I think it's smart that they're using drones to make sure there's not sharks in the water.
100%.
Because honestly, there's been quite a few sharks close to shore lately.
Recently, yeah.
Like I've seen some unfortunate videos of shark attacks on beaches lately.
Yeah.
And it says that they've actually seen one shark since they started using this in May.
Wow.
And got the people out of the water.
Nice.
That's a good thing.
It's a good sign,
Now, it's also supposed to be able to help people who might be struggling swimming,
which is great.
which is great. They have not used it for that yet.
Yeah.
But if they do see a struggling swimmer, apparently these are equipped to drop like an inflatable, think like on an airplane where
Yeah.
like pull the thing. They can drop that down and maybe help save that swimmer.
That's smart. Most people that go to the beach are good swimmers. They're not going to go in the water if they can't
Do you
swim.
think that's true though?
Yes.
Really?
Well, I
People
think
on vacation and stuff? Now, we grew up in Southern California. Of course, most of us can swim.
that's true. But if you're going to swim out into like the ocean, I think most people will go to the beach and like go to where they can go like maybe knee
Knee deep,
deep, you know.
which is usually fine if there's not a riptide.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying like most people that are out there swimming that you would be struggling are probably people that got swept up in the riptide that still can swim. Because let's be real, the drone's not gonna be able to find you if you got swept up in a riptide and can't swim. You're gonna be gone before it can find you.
You might be able to see you. It might have infrared. It's not
But
going to be able
you
to
have
pull
to
you
know how to
out.
tread water. And if you've never learned how
That's
to
true.
swim,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So
that's true.
I don't think people are dumb with their
you ever
life.
had-
Maybe they are. I don't know.
Have you ever? Well, I think a lot are. Have you ever had an instance in the beach where you thought like, "This is the end"?
Not thought this is the end, but I have been pulled out by a riptide. At like our local beaches here.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I was with friends or with my dad, or maybe happened 2 separate times. But I think I was with friends. We were like a big group of friends, and I think some of us got pulled out too far, and the boys had to help us like come in. The boys in the group.
That's not just what you call lifeguards.
No, the boys had to come help us. No, the boys in the group. Because it was really hard. But I also know, and I know this now, and most people that live near the beach do, that if you get caught in a riptide, you're supposed to swim diagonally, not straight. Like you swim diagonally to try to get
But
back.
diagonally from where? What does diagonal mean
So
if you're in a riptide?
you don't swim towards the beach, you swim diagonally towards the beach. So you're not going like straight towards the beach. If I'm trying to get in, I'm going to shift my body and try to swim diagonally to cut across the water.
I guess. I mean, I've been caught in a lot of riptides in my life.
Have you ever thought in the ocean like this is it?
Yes.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Recently?
No.
When?
I'm an adult. Like a significant portion of my childhood. There's one very clear, definitive time where I believe I was boogie boarding and I got like smashed by this big wave. And if you've never been like underneath a wave that has crashed,
I've had that happen.
it is chaos. It's a weird blend of chaos and quiet at the same time.
And especially if you're attached to something like a boogie board, it's like there's no finding out where you are. Like, you know where up is, but you're like,
Well, thank God, if you happen to be attached to a surfboard or a
Yeah.
boogie board, at least you can pull on your cable and get up there.
That's true.
I, for some reason, didn't have that or didn't attach it or whatever it was. And when you're underneath the water, you truly don't know what way is up, which way is
Yeah.
up. You have no idea if you don't have that cable. And I remember getting pounded by that wave and literally thinking, this is it. And then going, well, I guess I should at least try. And I did, as you might have gathered
Obviously,
by
'cause
me sitting
you're
here
here.
co-hosting this podcast. But yeah, I've definitely had a few times like that where I was like, well, this could be it. I've had many more times on airplanes where I've had that sentiment
Yeah.
than in the ocean. I've had to just come to terms with flying where I'm like,
It
there's
is what it
nothing
is.
I can do in this giant metal bird.
That's true. I will say that the time we were in Hawaii with the girls when we went on the kayak,
Oh my
that time
gosh.
I was not in the water, but
I don't think we've ever even talked about that on the show.
probably not. But that was a time that I truly was like, I'm going to get eaten by a shark in the middle of the Hawaiian Ocean.
The Hawaiian Ocean.
Because we were in Hawaii. But truly, I was like, if this kayak flips over, I'm goner. Done. But I was like
so funny.
freaking out, hyperventilating, crying. You were trying to help me, and I was like, don't move the boat.
I was having a great time. Me and Hannah should have got a boat together.
And Andy
you
and I could have just cried together. And then so that was like another time for me where like I wasn't like in the water, but I truly believed that if we were to go in the water, that's why I was having such a hard time. I was like, we're gonna die.
On the kayak?
Yeah, like, we're gonna eaten by a shark. Don't
Why
know
did
why.
you think we're going to get eaten by a shark?
Irrational fear. I have no idea why.
That is true. When you're in the ocean, it's hard to not think about sharks.
Also, this is like just a side story, but my friend Amy once went to Hawaii with like Surf the Nations, which was like a whatever Christian thing, blah, yada yada yada. But she met Bethany Hamilton.
The girl who soul surfer
It's the soul surfer
who got her arm bit off.
by a shark. Yes, and they went on like a swim from like the main island to like a side little island, then back.
Little side chick island.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but like they did a swim. And Bethany Hamilton led it. And then when Amy got back, she was like, we learned after the fact that route that we took is like shark infested waters. And you can see it if you go up to a mountain, you can like look down, you can see the
Why
sharks
would
swimming
this
around.
woman who's had her arm bit off by a shark do that?
I don't know, but I think that's in my brain knowing that was in Hawaii. That's like a thing.
Hawaii.
Also, Hawaii.
Mhm.
My mom, when she was in, she's going to correct me, Jamaica, got caught up or got pulled down by a riptide and pulled into a cave.
What?
An underwater cave.
That's
And
not
she was
true.
like snorkeling. It is true.
First of all, I don't think your mom had been to Jamaica until recently.
No, she went
She
to
had
Jamaica.
not left the country, as far as I knew.
You didn't need, this is back in the day, we didn't need passports because my mom went to Jamaica a couple times with bowling. I know, so weird.
With bowling?
Yeah, because they used to go on.
Is there a big bowling presence in Jamaica?
Well, it was like their bowling league would go on these trips.
Jamaican me bowl. That's
And
what we call it.
She's been to Jamaica a couple times. One of the times she was pregnant with Ryan. Actually, my mom's talked about this. She always talks about like she
Who's
got her hair.
Ryan?
My brother. She was pregnant with my brother.
Your brother Ryan?
She was pregnant with Ryan at the time.
Ryan was bowling in Jamaica. All right, keep telling me
Anyway,
your
but
story.
she said it was a really scary experience for her.
Well, let's get the full details on that later.
Anyway, you asked about the ocean. The ocean's a terrifying place.
It's true. Wow.
I'm sorry that you had some near-death, scary experiences
Thank you.
where you were just going to give up instead of try.
I also, that's the story of my life. Seriously, I'm such a quitter. I had a near-death experience at Disneyland as a child.
Are you lying? Is that why you don't like Disneyland?
No one
Is that
said
why you
that
don't
from my
like?
mouth, because I love working for Disney and
But like,
all their lands.
but the rides aren't your favorite. Not at
'cause I get
Disneyland, just
sick.
in general, because you
get
get
sick.
sick. But is it now subconsciously attached to the fact that you almost died when you were a kid?
Well, by almost died, I mean I got lost outside of Indiana Jones. My whole family left me.
That's not dying.
It felt like an emotional death. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if somebody takes me? What if Medusa?
I thought you were going to be like, I got stuck on a ride upside down or whatever.
I have seen videos like that
Yeah.
where people get stuck upside down in rides
No way.
and they pass out because the blood rushes through their head.
100%. hoping you have good core strength in that moment so you can like hold on.
What would you do? I would like hold the back of my head and try to like push it up like this. I try to push it like that.
I try to do that. I'd probably try to like bend my body to like grab anything that I could and like wrap my arms around it.
Or do you think we'd just be freaking out? Like
that one. I'd be crying.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I love you so much.
You can't cry though. You'll dehydrate yourself and you'll be upside down.
This happened. This is we're on such a tangent. Did you see that?
Yeah.
With is the one that goes up and down or whatever?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Flips,
So,
and
I
they
don't
all
know.
got,
Yeah.
it was because they all got stuck upside down for like hours.
Yeah, I think you told me about it.
Yeah, it was a couple videos on it, but they closed down the whole entire park.
Yeah.
And these people were just stuck upside down for like an hour or 2 hours, some like crazy amount of time.
At least they closed the park. That's better than people just like munching on churros walking by. Like, that seems bad for them up there.
Yeah, that's fine. Except I'm like, you can't go faster like than that. Like they're literally all stuck upside down.
Look,
all of them.
So having just done an event where somebody just like passed out and seeing how long responses happen, people aren't necessarily thinking of every inevitable thing or like possible problem.
Yeah.
If you're stuck upside down, we're probably going like, what are the chances? We should be filming this.
How do we fix it?
We're going to get a lot of views.
Oh my gosh.
That's probably what they're thinking.
Anyways, I'm terrified to go upside down on a roller coaster.
So drones. Oh, let me finish my thought on the drones in the beach. I think it's a good idea to watch for sharks, even though the battery life on drones are like very small. But at the same time, it's a little bit scary to think of living in a future where there's just like government flying drones.
Watching
like,
you.
Yeah, because it said, like the way it was written, it was like watching for sharks and swimmers. And I was like, are they going to be looking at, like, at least here in Malibu, like you can't bring alcohol on the beach.
Yeah.
So like, are they going to be using drones to like
determine whether or not someone may or may not have poured a bottle of wine into their hydro flask?
Exactly. Hannah or whoever.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems a little dystopian, a little Big Brother-ish.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, get them, birds.
Yeah. Go, seagulls. Do my bidding. What happened with the Wicked Witch of the West? Fly, my pretties. Fly. The flying monkeys. You don't know this?
I do know this. You're just being hysterical.
You looked at me like I was crazy.
Because it was kind of a crazy voice. Fly, my pretties.
It was an impression.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
You got more stories for me?
I got more stories for you. I got stories as the day is long, as they say. I don't know what that means.
That popular phrase.
That old antiquity. That little gemstone.
All right, let's do this thing. Chicken wing.
Man skipped work for 6 years and no one noticed until he won an award.
There's someone that parked outside.
Really?
Oh, no, they're backing up. Okay. So I was like, they parked right in front of the driveway.
The best part of someone parking there is that you missed the title of this,
okay,
which is shocking.
I'm ready.
You really heard none of it.
It scared me.
Man skipped work for 6 years.
And they still kept him employed?
And no one noticed.
Did he get paid for all of it?
Until he won an award.
And he wasn't there. Okay.
There's more to it. Okay. For 6 years, a building supervisor in, guess the country? Spain.
Yep.
Is what we were all thinking. Quietly collected. Now, here's where it's a little confusing to me. You can tell me what you think. It says quietly collected a $41,500 salary from his local government without showing up to work. So to me, I'm going, that's probably per year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like $41,000 salary over the course of 6 years is not enough money.
No.
That's less than $10K a year. I've been told not to do math on the show, so that's as close as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
So let's say for 6 years, pull out that calculator, babe. We're going to do this in US dollars. 41,500 times 6 comes out to a whopping grand total of
$249,000.
not a small amount of money, over $250,000. So it says he's been collecting this from his government job without showing up to work, and he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for him getting an award for his 20 years of loyal service. Can you believe that?
Did he go? Did he get the award? Did he know? He didn't know.
So it says Joaquin Garcia was recently fined $30,000.
That's it. It's nothing.
That's why I wanted to ask about the pay.
Yeah.
Because if he made just short of $300,000,
249.
$249?
Isn't that what I said?
I thought you said 290 something.
51.
Regardless.
41,500 times 6. 249.
Okay, so $250,000.
Yeah.
So only have to pay $30,000 back. That's the
pretty
maximum
nice.
fine that they can charge him, by the way, which is what I think it says. The maximum penalty government officials could deliver. So he's going to have to pay $30,000. But he somehow, I think it's because some of these countries in Europe, you can go on vacation for like 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just never came back.
Dang.
And people were like, this one dude said, like, I wondered whether he was still working there. Had he retired? Had he died? But the payroll showed he was still receiving salary. So I called him up and I asked him, what did you do yesterday? The month before? The month before that? He didn't know what to say. So they were going to give him an award, which is so sad. They're like, hey, Joaquin? Apparently, he's been here for like 20 years.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, oh, love that guy.
That's
no one's seen him in
crazy.
the last 6 years.
That HR person. So.
Dude, so much. That is crazy.
Dang.
Anyway, it says that Garcia retired after the allegations came
Of
to light.
course.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's going to go back to the
He basically
office.
had retired. Yeah.
Yeah, he had for years and years and years. Anyway, I just thought that was freaking wild.
So wild.
6 years.
Wild.
I could see how it happens, though.
Yeah. It's like
I could see, like, you take 2 weeks off, right?
uh-huh.
Then maybe you, like, get the stomach flu and you're like, I meant to call in, but, I forgot. Now, like, it's too late, but they haven't called me. So, like, maybe it's fine. I'll just go in on Monday. And then, like, a week goes by and you're like, well, I could go in tomorrow on Monday, but, like, they haven't said anything. So maybe I just take some time off. And if they ask, like, I'll tell them, like, I got hurt or something. And
Who knows? You're
I
making up
can't-
a crazy story.
Yeah, now I'm the one who makes up stories in this relationship. And then he's like, well, it's been good for a month. I mean, like, why
Just
go
try it
in?
for 6 years.
Yeah, and he just every 2 weeks, just direct deposit. Would you go back?
No. Maybe.
I probably would say something. But I could see how we'd get there.
Yeah, for sure.
Freaking hilarious that they're like, let's honor the man for his 20 years of service. And no one was like, Joaquin?
No.
Didn't he leave like 6 years ago? Nobody, except for this one dude.
That's so weird.
Anyway, rest in peace, Joaquin.
What? He didn't die.
Oh, he died from the department.
Oh,
that
yeah,
he worked
but
at.
he didn't die.
No. Okay. You ready for some unpop pins before we go?
Oh my gosh. Stop trying to make unpop pins happen.
Stop making fetch happen.
It is so fetch.
Unpopular opinions. Now, the other week, you just looked at my list and stole them.
I did.
Would you rather do that, or you
No.
want me to hit you with a few?
Hit me with a
Hit
what?
me with an unpop pin. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Oh, this one's interesting because I know that you and I do not see eye to eye, and I don't know what has changed in you. I don't know who has hurt you or encouraged you or pushed you to the breaking point where you are obsessed with wings. Not bird wings. I guess technically they are. I'm talking about eating wings.
Uh-huh.
You have never eaten a single wing in your life in your relationship with me. And then all of a sudden you're like, it's all I want.
It's not true, but I understand.
I want some. Here's the opinion. Boneless wings are far superior to traditional
Yes.
bone-in wings.
We are on opposite
No.
ends.
No.
Listen,
It's so wrong.
he's really passionate about this. Listen, I understand. I can step back and say, I get why everyone who likes bone-in wings is like, it's a superior wing. However, you get more chicken with a boneless wing.
Not necessarily. You just get less bone. If you weight it,
We can. You got to take all the chicken off your bones, though, and weigh it. But I can tell you, as someone who's had both of them, you get more chicken with a boneless wing. It's normally more tender and juicy.
Sure.
And
That is
the
not
sauce
true.
to
It
chicken
is
ratio.
not more tender and juicy.
The sauce, it is.
It is definitively
is.
drier.
No.
It is one.
No.
You cannot tell me
I can.
that your little chicken nugget
will.
is more moist.
It is. We just had
No.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You got bone in. I got boneless. The boneless were more tender. The sauce to bone or to bone. Who am I? The sauce to chicken ratio was better. It was more
the sauce
chicken.
to bone ratio is something totally different.
But I watch you eat your wings. Try and eat around that bone. Try to make sure you get all the chicken off. It's hard unless you're like that person who can go.
Those
And, like,
those
eat it so
people are
quick. Do you know what I'm talking
crazy. Yeah, where they bite off the ends of a flat and they go.
And they take it all.
Yeah, I don't like that. But here's the deal. Truly, it is not more tender or moist.
It is.
It is a chicken nugget, which is like inherently processed or chopped up. A chicken wing is like literally a mini chicken breast. It still has all
literally
of the
by
moisture.
definition a wing of a chicken.
I know.
Where like a chicken tender is normally breast meat.
Chicken tender?
Or like a chicken boneless wing. All of that is normally like a chicken breast.
Listen, chicken Gestapo.
I'm just, as someone who worked in the chicken industry for a while,
Stop it.
I just want to be very clear that you cannot compare a wing of a chicken to chicken breast. Because it's literally...
Let me compare.
It's literally a chicken wing.
Yes. And that's why you can't compare a chicken nugget to a chicken wing either. Show me where the nuggets are. A boneless wing is not still a wing.
It is.
I don't know where the meat came from for that.
Probably the chicken breast, which means it's more juicy.
Oh, what? It's more of a chicken breast than a chicken wing.
Whatever. I don't have to deal with the bone in of the chicken wing because I don't like having to work around that. It's kind of disgusting and gross, if I'm being completely honest. And I can... It's like a weird... It's like a weird... It's weird. So that's why we get boneless chicken from the store.
You eat ribs.
That's why we get boneless steaks.
No.
Because it's weird. Ribs are hard too.
No, they're not. They're so easy.
I just don't like the bone in the meat.
So, lucky for you, this person backs you up.
That's right.
They say, but boneless wings aren't even wings. They're chicken nuggets. Okay, fine. They are big-ass chicken nuggets, and chicken nuggets are awesome, which I can't argue with. They are
I would rather
awesome.
have a boneless wing than a regular chicken wing.
You would rather have a chicken nugget than a bone-in wing. That's what it comes down to.
Fine.
They are not like us, and they're not the same.
Fine.
You're going to have to agree to disagree on this one.
You can't have any of my boneless wings then. Enjoy your chicken wings.
Look, I don't even eat your chicken nuggets anyway. Not when they come for beat-ups.
Yeah, huh?
Because I'm too busy driving Uber to try to pay for Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. That's not true. I haven't done that before, but they're expensive. That's what I'm getting at.
I got you.
All right. How about this? Speaking of eating, being hangry should not be normalized in adults. Whoa, you got them crazy eyes, girl.
Because I'm tired. I agree with that. But it's a weird thing because I think hangry, it's really just being like, you're angry. You're like frustrated. You're annoyed. Because you haven't eaten.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of power. This is like so different than what you want it to be. And I'm so aware, but there's a lot of power in like being able to know and call out like the emotions that you're having and to say, hey, like I know in this moment that I'm upset or that I'm angry or that I'm really sad. And so like, these are the things that I need.
Yeah.
And so I think it is similar when you talk about hangry. I myself have been hangry and been like, I can tell that I'm just hungry. Like I think I should eat something and I'll feel like way better. However, I do not think that it is okay for an adult to be quote unquote hangry and then like take it out on everybody.
That's what I'm talking
like
about.
And have like a tantrum, a temper
to
tantrum.
let it be a justifiable excuse for
I was just hangry. That's why I hit you.
That's okay. Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not okay.
Now. Wow.
It's not okay.
It's not.
Or that's why I yelled at you, or that's why I stormed off. Like, it's just not okay. It's the same. You could place hangry with angry, with sad, with mad, with whatever you want. It's not okay to do that stuff. So I think for me, it's less about the hangry and more about that adults shouldn't be allowed to have temper tantrums.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Everyone's entitled to their feelings.
100%.
But yes, tantrums... grow up. And to say, I was just hangry, it's an excuse for bad behavior.
Yeah, which is why I said, like, I don't think there's an issue with being hangry. I think it's what's the outcome of that for you? Yeah. Sounds like you're throwing a little temper tantrum. That's what 2-year-olds do. So are you a 2-year-old?
You want your boneless wings?
Yeah, your boneless wings? Do you want them? Oh, you want the bone ends because you're hangry.
Oh, here we go. All right, let me hit you with one more. I have plenty more, but I got one more. And this one is actually one that I don't know how you'll feel, and I don't even know how I feel about it. It's a little bit more in depth than wings and hanger.
Okay.
Comfort is more valuable than money. And before you say that money allows you to have comfort, is that what you're going to say? Is that it?
I mean, in some ways, I would say, but go ahead. Before I take
Before
my
you do
thoughts.
that, if we took that off the table,
Mm-hmm.
or at least we don't have to take it off the table entirely, but know that that's a part of the thought process here. Would you agree that comfort is more valuable to a person than money?
Yeah.
If you had to choose.
Yes. However, if we're saying that I'm comfortable in life, it probably means that I have enough money to live a comfortable lifestyle.
Yeah, because
and to be whatever comfortable is for me.
Yeah, because if we just put the inverse there, you'd have to say like comfortable but broke or rich but miserable. Like that's obvious. Like, well,
Yeah.
at least for me, I like, look, I don't want to be broke, but I'd rather be comfortable than
Yeah,
miserable.
but nobody broke is comfortable.
I would agree with that.
And not all rich people are unhappy.
But I'd say a lot of rich people are.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, not everyone.
I'd say it's, I was going to say it's probably, no, I'm not going to say that because I just don't know. And that seems insensitive. I've just heard of and know so many people who have plenty of money, but not plenty of happiness. And I know plenty of people that have plenty of happiness, but not nearly as much money. I'm not saying it's totally different if it's like, I don't even know how to pay my bills. I have $0.
Yeah, that's
like,
not comfort.
I have so much debt. That's never comfortable. But I know people who are making, let's take this for example. We were just rewatching McMillions, which is great on HBO Max or HBO, either one. It's about the scam from the McDonald's Monopoly game. Very fun. And I won't spoil anything. But there is one person who got pulled into it who is from South Carolina, I think. Maybe not. But he's a very country type person. Like if you were writing a stereotypical country dude, it would be this guy. Like speak slow with the twang. It's all about integrity and finding more customers and having a happy life for much. Like it was all very, I don't know, South Midwest normal. That dude didn't have a college degree.
But owned his own business.
Owned his own business doing like farming, like real labor. But he seemed to be like the happiest out of all of these people because he was confident and content with what he had. The documentary goes on to talk about other things, but this dude was a good dude, truly. But he's not a bazillionaire, but he was a hard worker. And at least he had something to hang his hat on. He didn't have the most money, but he was like the most content out of anyone there.
Yeah.
And I think that there was one that there was an unpopular opinion we didn't do a few weeks ago, which essentially was like hustle culture is toxic. And I do agree with that. I think particularly hustle culture mixed with capitalism, they're kind of one and the same anyway. Just gives opportunity to never feel content, to never feel good enough, to think that at some point you'll have enough money or followers or influence that then you'll be happy. And that's just all postponing happiness. To think that I'll be okay when I get there.
Yeah.
But anyone who's lived enough life has known that whatever destination they get to may give you a fleeting moment of happiness, but it's never going to be contentment or peace or joy.
Yeah.
So all that to say, I do think comfort is more valuable than money.
Yeah, I do too.
Although I don't know that the two are, they're certainly not mutually exclusive, but I also don't know if one can exist without the other. I don't know if you can be comfortable without having money. I suppose you can. I suppose there's people that aren't caught in the American quote unquote dream.
Yeah.
Or the Cody Rhodes American nightmare. Shout out Cody Rhodes. If there's people who are living just off the grid.
Yeah, I think that there are free spirits and people like that who live and are totally fine and are comfortable with whatever they have and all those things. I think for you and I, while I don't think that we need to be rich in order to be comfortable, I do think that we need to be making money in order to be comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
With the lifestyle that we've chosen to have and that we do have. That doesn't mean that we don't save. That doesn't mean that we don't spend money on things that we want to spend money on, but it means like we work hard so we can have a comfortable life.
That's what's up. Do you feel content?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'm like, let's make more money.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I think I
I
feel
want
like
a 7-bedroom house. Just kidding. I don't.
I think we are stuck in the hamster wheel of get more gigs, make more money, make more content. And I don't mean that in an inherently negative way, but I do know that like we're still very driven and motivated to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Part of it is how we're wired. Another part of it is just the culture of keeping us, like telling us that we have to do more or have a side hustle or whatever. Like remember like 2 years ago, it was like, the term side hustle was just something that everyone had.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, especially if you're living in Los Angeles
Yeah.
or somewhere like that, it's like you have to have something else. You got an Etsy shop, or you're getting paid every month to do influencer stuff, or you're driving for Uber or Uber Eats or whatever. Like you had to, it's just assumed. And so I think it's a combination of all of those things, between wired that way, the culture, all that kind of stuff, that I think we are in that hamster wheel a bit. And I hope that that's not forever. Stuff like this, I love doing the show with you.
I know. I do too.
I love it. And this, I don't think we even said it. It's the last episode of season 4.
Woo-woo.
Next week, season 5. Crazy. I love doing this. Sometimes the monotony and the homework that is like social media, though, drains me. It's not fun.
That's okay. It's all part of it.
It is.
For now.
And with that, you won't like me when I'm hangry. That's all I have to say.
I love you always.
I love you too. Well, hey, did you have a good time?
Yeah, did you?
I did.
Good. Well, that wraps up another season of Hardly Working.
I can't believe it. I just like stumbled into it in the end.
Yeah, thank goodness.
I believe this is our 80th episode.
Woo-woo.
And we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary. Oddly enough, season 5 starts the week before our 1 year. So it's going to be a weird 2 episodes. A fun 2 episodes, but weird in terms of how they land.
Sure, sure.
Sure. She. Anyway, thanks for joining us, whether you've been here from episode 1 or episode 100, which will be in 20 episodes. We're glad that you're here, part of the Hardly Working family.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how we sign off, we always just take a second to let you know we appreciate you. To hope that you're having a good summer or winter, depending on what hemisphere you're in. I guess we do have people who listen that aren't just in America. We found that out today. But they're still in the northern hemisphere. Shout out Germany. Shout out, what was the other country?
I don't know.
Shout out, I don't know.
Sorry. Oh, Mexico.
Mongolia.
Mexico.
Minneapolis.
Mexico.
Anywho,
Anywho, we're happy you're here. We hope you're having a great time. And we hope that you spend most of your time hardly working. Bye.
We really landed that plane at the end. It was like southwest.
Turbulence.
A little bit of bounce, but a lot of personality.